This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Weekend Review on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today is my co-host, the Rooster. I say, day, Bob.
Good morning, Valhalla.
How are you all doing this morning? Good morning, Chris Persia, the Ranger of Wrenches is here. Daryl, the Derelict. Good morning, brother Day Bob. My brother from another mother, Day Bob. He's in the chat and he's on the show. Holy shit. Star Wars Theology. Good morning. Snorted Poopers Cuber, my favorite polar bear in YouTube. Good morning. Fat Steven Seagal. He's fat and he's here. I'm surprised anybody else could get into the chat with you here. Pat S. Good morning. Good morning, Pat S. Mark the Imbly Tired, the Bash brother of the South is here. Good morning, Mark. Yeah, 2 minutes in, I've already made a Pat joke about Pat Steven.
Not hard.
This stream is brought to you by Mother Abigail. That's right. Pat Stevens got it. Kendra L, good morning. Good morning, Kendra L. Daryl the Derelict, good morning. How are you doing, brother? I don't know if I said Gun Buddy. How are you doing, Gun Buddy? Good morning. Good morning, Gun Buddy. And where Gun Buddy is, Psychodorf 9 is not soon to follow. Good morning, guys. Broken Entertainment. Brian Dawes. Brian Dawes said earlier, it's the second time this has happened. His PC suddenly shut down as soon as I finished reading the story last night on 7 Kinds of Mischief.
Ooh,
it all shut down.
PC was scared.
Yeah, and that's something. See, I got to change my voice when I talk about Thursday nights because, yeah. Anyway. Kendra L, good morning. Polymes Minion, Darius Munchausen, good morning, guys. Good morning, Apollomy. Hope you're driving safe out there. Darius, good morning. All right, with that, we had such a crazy week. We had Frost on the channel, and that's Frosk. Hello, Frosk. That was fun. It was fun having Frosk on.
Yeah, I actually tweeted at her when she was looking for somebody to contact her agent. And I just put up there, snowflakes melt. And sure enough, yesterday morning she melted and took all her tweets away.
Mm-hmm. You take care too, Project Storytime. Have a great day. Have a great Friday, brother.
Hey.
Yeah, we went deep inside Frosk on Friday. On Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday.
Thursday or whatever.
Thursday, Wednesday. It was I'm pretty
one
sure
of them days.
One of them days. It was Wednesday because it was Wednesday. YouTube day.
Yeah.
So it was Wednesday morning. What a surprise. What a surprise. What a great treat.
Well, she had to respond somehow, so she did it the only way she could. She picked out
After
the one person that she thought would, bend to her will, and you did not bend. You did not kneel.
that's right. And man, the fact that like she threw down the gauntlet to all these different people. She threw down the gauntlet to male in general. She threw out the gauntlet to pretty much the entire fandom. She threw out the gauntlet to drama tubers everywhere. And
Farmers.
then
Drama farmers.
deletes her tweets.
Every tweet. She started fresh yesterday with her poop jokes.
Wow. So I guess don't call down the thunder unless you really want it.
I think G4 TV might have had a come to Jesus meeting with her and told her, this shit's got to stop, because yesterday I saw nothing but just general stuff, nothing else. Just no attacks, no nothing. No defending, no nothing. Just straight out normal stuff.
Keely Chow has a really good question for you. He said, who would you rather go inside of, Brie Larson or Frosk?
I think I'll pass.
Mm-hmm. And yet Sessler's tweets are still up. There's your sexism. Snort a poop's cube, or Frosk is a poop joke?
Pretty much.
Is that when like it freezes halfway out while you're going? So you're like out in the woods going, it's like frozen. Oh no. Anyway.
I'm gonna take that. I have done that out in the woods in the middle of winter, and it ain't no fun.
How about no? That's right.
Yep.
How about no?
Yeah, I'll pass on both of those.
That's
For one thing, with Brie, I mean, she has no boohine at all. I don't even know where you'd go with her. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. What about all this stuff I've heard about Evangeline?
Oh, I got me a new girlfriend there.
Evangeline Lilly took to Instagram where she revealed she participated in an anti-COOF mandate rally that took place in Washington, D.C. on January 22nd and 23rd. Lilly posted on Instagram 3 photos of the events. The first shows a person carrying a sign in their backpack that reads, COOF Democrat for Medical Freedom.
Well, we're just going to cancel her. She can't do that. I mean, she's anti-pope. She can't do that. She can't do that. We're going to have to cancel her.
One sign said defeat the mandates.
I also saw where Grace Randolph, Little Miss Screechy, had to throw her 2 cents worth into there.
Oh, I'm sure she did. Evangeline Lilly's tweet that went out said, I was in D.C. this weekend to support bodily sovereignty while Canadian truckers were rallying for their cross-country peaceful convoy in support of something.
Go truckers.
Go truckers. I believe nobody should ever be forced to inject their body with anything against their will under threat of violent attack, arrest, or detention, loss of employment, homelessness, starvation, loss of education, alienation from loved ones, including death, because they've done that now, excommunication from society under any threat whatsoever. This is not the way. This is not safe. This is not healthy. This is not love. I understand the world is in fear, but I don't believe that answering fear with force will fix our problems. I was pro-choice before the COOF, and I am still pro-choice today. Hashtag medical choice, medical freedom.
No. Almost.
Bodily autonomy, bodily sovereignty, Defeat them mandates, DC, Canadian truckers. I am with you.
Yeah, baby.
That's right.
I got a new girlfriend. Now that one right there, I might, no, Miss Bob, she'd kill me. I'll just have to have a crush on her. It's not safe, it's not healthy, and it's not love.
So, I don't know. I'm liking this girl already.
Well, it's just refreshing that you have somebody that actually looks at things and uses their own brain, and they don't just toe the corporate line or the government line. They think for themselves, and people are starting to do that more, and it's upsetting a lot of the higher ups. It really is.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But no, big props to Evangeline Lilly.
Yep.
Here's the thing. This is the way I think about this. Sorry if I'm getting to your comments, guys. I had that other page pulled up. For decades, even before that, because I know this shit was going on before I was even born, there has been a push for my body, my choice. There has been this giant movement for this is my body and I'll do what I want to it. It's funny until now. And these are the same people that were pushing this for decades. These are the people that were pushing this for decades that are now turning around saying you don't have a choice. You have to do this. These are the people laughing on Reddit when a guy with a heart transplant, they refuse to give him a heart transplant because he won't get the poke.
That right there is criminal. That's criminal. Because he is going to die. He's on his deathbed right now.
He's on his deathbed, and he's got kids. They don't care.
2 kids.
And they're laughing at him. What a hill to die on. Oh, stupid bastard. He gets what he deserves. And this is what the coop people point and laugh at.
I honestly don't have any clue about how people can talk like that or can act like that to anybody. I don't care who they are, just because they don't want to do something that they think is going to be harmful to themselves, or they think that maybe their body can handle it with better than a poke can. I mean, what can you say about that?
That's right. Oh yeah, and we've already lost monetization on this stream.
Uh-oh.
I don't care. I'm past fucking caring. I'm tired. I'm tired of it, and I'm going to talk about it, and they can kiss my ass if they don't like it. Psychodorf9 with $5 super chat. Want to know what I see with the truckers? An army condensed out of frustration. Thankfully, peaceful protest. And thank you so much for that $5 super chat, Psychodorf9. I don't really care if they do. I'm so freaking past it. I don't give a shit. I'm past giving a shit. It's like anytime any of this comes up, it's like, oh, say even half of the wrong thing, and by God, we'll make sure you never make a dime off it. Whatever. I don't care. I'm sick of it. I'm freaking sick of it, because the people that are so pro this and you can't talk about it and how dare you speak of it and blah 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 blah. They're the ones that have made this the problem that it is. They're the ones who have unleashed all of this crap on people.
They just need to realize that what comes around goes around, and it's going to come back on them. It's not going to be pretty whenever the backlash is finally going to hit, and it's probably going to be sometime in November.
So this is you want to talk about lockdowns. You want to talk about misinformation. You want to talk about what they're doing on a daily basis
This has
to
been the
threaten people
longest.
into the way of thinking.
Yeah, this has been the longest 2 weeks I've ever spent in my freaking life.
Oh yeah. 2 weeks to get everything straight. We need to lock down everything for 2 weeks. Remember when you had to walk a certain direction in the grocery store? Do you remember that?
Yep.
You couldn't walk like down the aisle the wrong way. They'd stop you and turn you around.
Well, they wouldn't have turned me around.
God help me.
They'd had to throw me out. I don't think I ever actually did that here in the area where I'm at. About the worst they came up with was the 6 foot thing when I couldn't get into Academy Sports when I was trying to get some bullets and they had everybody waiting in a line outside to go in. There could only be 25 people in the store.
Yep. Yep. And then you know what? Conventions started coming back. Group meetings started coming back, and suddenly people were getting back to normal. And then, we've got a new wave. We've got a new wave of this. And oh my God, we've got second fiddle to this. And now get a load of this. I love this because I read this the other day. Businesses are telling their employees, just don't worry about it, come in anyway. Don't worry about it. Come in anyway. Just don't tell anybody. Healthcare worker. There was a healthcare worker in like Indiana. Her boss was like, yeah, just don't worry about it. Come in anyway. We need you.
Can you imagine the stupidity that you have to go through to come up with a dadgum rule that a healthcare worker can't come in unless they're jabbed? And it doesn't matter, that people are, in the hospital and they don't have enough people to actually take care of them, and they're actually going to fire people because of that. I mean, what kind of idiotic nonsense is that?
Oh, and that's the deal, getting rid of people. Let them. Oh, look, it's Disgraced Randolph. Good morning, Disgraced Randolph. I used to like you.
Yeah.
Even though my ex hated your voice, I used to like listening to you.
I hated that voice. That's the one thing about her that just nails on a chalkboard when she talks. Well.
Dean Krantz with $20 super chat. Whether it was German Americans in World War I, Japanese Americans during World War II, or the uncouthed today, the fearful will target the enemy that the corporate media or government say is responsible. Think for yourself.
That's a rapidly dying art right there, thinking for yourself. In today's society, children are being just brainwashed in school from the time they're 5-6 years old. Some of the dadgum, I mean, not all. I'm not generalizing, but there are some school districts and some teachers out there that are just literally an abomination. I mean, they should not be anywhere near kids. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
And thank you so much, Dean, for that $20 super chat. Fat Whammon says, Grace, what are you doing out of Arkham? Thank you for that $2 Canadian super chat.
My profile has foghorn leghorn on it.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. It's the way it is, and that's the way they want it. And eventually they're gonna have to pay for it. They're gonna have to pay for treating people like they're subhuman because they don't want to do what they are told to do. This is all about control. It's all about being told you have to do this. You're going to do what I tell you to do.
Yes. I mean, they fired Mr. Carano for it. And they're going to probably try to do the same thing with Miss Lily. And we need people to start standing up. I mean, there are so many people on their knees right now. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But we do not kneel in Valhalla.
Mm-mm. So did you see Steve Perry's at it again?
Refresh my memory. That might have slipped past me.
On Facebook, he put a message up and said, the third episode of Blabba Fat is not to set too high a bar, better than the first two, up to a point. At least there are bubbles rising in the back to tank. Of course, the idea of why would we show when we can, tell is still majorly evident. So he has gone off again on this last episode and said this is better than anything we've seen before. And it's not even Blabba Fat. It's The Mandalorian.
I will say that we had one of the best episodes of Boba Fett this week that we've had so far. And Boba Fett wasn't even in it.
That's right. And that's exactly what Stephen Perry said. He said, episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, best yet, hands down. Want to know why? No back to tank, no Huts, and no Boba Fett.
Oh, man. I tell you what. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to say some stuff that's probably going to be minor spoilers, but I'm going to tell you, when he came in there with that dadgum dark saber and cleaved that dude right in two on that table, I was sitting there, yeah, there you go.
That's my boy.
Oh, Lord.
Nicole the Blind Mage says, morning, guys. I stood up for myself and got kicked out of my program. Well, you stood up for yourself. It's never a bad thing, standing up for yourself. So, bravo, Nicole. It's a good thing standing up for yourself. It's always a good thing standing up for yourself. Don't ever let anybody tell you different either. We kid around and we talk about TV shows and we talk about all of this stuff. But a lot of this is about standing up and speaking up and not being afraid to. It's one of the reasons why I encourage people to stream and use their voice, is because we stand up and we don't take any shit and we speak our mind. Dave Bob's opinion is Dave Bob's opinion. He has every right to give his opinion. So do I. And now what they're saying is, well, yeah, you can use that freedom of speech and say your opinion, but you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah. If you don't toe the line, we're going to marginalize you, push you off to the edge, and do everything in our power to keep you down. But the thing about it is there are more and more and more people that are starting to realize what's going on, and they're speaking up. And that is why right now they are pushing back so hard. It is getting deafening out there from that particular direction because they're losing the narrative. They've lost the narrative. Their narrative has gone down in flames, and people are starting to see it, and they're desperate. They're scared. They're running. And so they're doubling down. Everything that they have, they're doubling down with it. And, it's actually fun to watch the crumbling right now.
And Brightest Day with $1.99 super chat says fuel for the fires. Thank you so very much for that super chat, Brightest Day. You have to stand up and you have to use your voice. You have to stand up and you have to say, this is how I feel about this, and I'm not afraid to say it. They want you in compliance and they want you quiet. And that goes for Hollywood, that goes for the government, that goes for all of this. Everything we've talked about. The movie industry doesn't want regular people doing reviews.
Nope.
They don't want regular people talking about their product. They want people that are bought and paid for talking about their product.
And they buy and pay for a lot of it. All you have to do is look at Rotten Tomatoes on the critic score.
Which is owned by Disney.
Yep.
Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Disney.
And the disjoint between the actual public and the critics is so vast, you know right off the bat that those folks are bought and paid for.
Who in here, throw a 1 in chat if you ever read reviews. I'm talking about years ago. If you read a review before you went and saw a movie to see if it was good, throw 1 in chat if you ever did that. I'll admit I did that. I used to watch Siskel and Ebert all the freaking time.
Oh, yeah.
I used to always check out a review before I saw a movie. Yeah, Lighten Up, Lovely Sherry, Dave Bob, Visage Melody, Project Storytime, Leia Rose, DJ Ronnie G, Adega Outlaw, Chris Persia, Mansquatch, Keely Chow, Zeropium, Kendra L, Daryl the Derelict, Arwin Avalon, Brandon the Anime Guy, Project Storytime put 42. It's a perfect number, 42.
But the thing about it is, back then, the critics were actually critics. They weren't bought and paid for.
That's right. Before it became Ebert and Roper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had them challenging each other in their reviews. You had them challenging their ideas and their perceptions. I feel this way about it. Well, I feel this way about it. Well, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Mags waiting for Final Fantasy VI with $5 super chat says, the thing is, they will pivot and triple down. Never ever forget what they've done to us. Don't let them memory hole anything. That's right. Don't ever forget. I will never forget what Disney has done.
Oh, no.
I will never look the other way after what they did to Gina, after what they've done to Star Wars, after what they've done to other IPs. There are things that I loved that Disney did decades ago that they have completely trashed. And I'm just like, you know what? If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. You want to ruin Lion King? Ruin Lion King. You want to ruin Little Mermaid? Ruin Little Mermaid. You want to rewrite your history of your movies, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? By God, go ahead and do that, because it just goes to show you that they are up their own ass and can't see daylight.
It's not the same world anymore. Not the same world. And we've got to turn this around. And if we don't, you're going to be living under tyranny. And that's not being, alarmist or anything else. That's a fact. Things keep going down the road that they've been going. Bye-bye.
Snort a Poops Cuber. I still haven't forgotten 9/11. The bear memory goes back a long way. Neither have I. Pulling over on the side of the road at a church and getting upset. Very, very upset. Very, very upset. Going into a church and having a preacher ask me to please calm down because I was that pissed. I was pissed.
I was working nights. I woke up and that was the first thing I saw. And boy, I was floored. Could not believe it.
Hawks Holocron says Duck Farner Brothers as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Aladdin.
The thing about it is Disney never met a property that they didn't want to ruin.
Well, seeing,
Reaction.
you know what? I remember when I got dragged to see Beauty and the Beast, the live movie, not the
Oh
not the
yeah.
cartoon. I saw the cartoon, of course, back in the day. It was a great movie. Everybody loved the Rose thing. But then I get dragged to see the live action adaptation. And I'm like, this is exactly the same as the cartoon. They just have
Yep.
actors walking around.
Jungle
Except for
Book,
a couple
same
little
way.
things here and there, you know, a couple little things to do with guys, men, and ooh la la and other men. Besides that, it was the exact same movie. So
Yeah, that's like I have said all along. Leave the classics alone. If you want to tell new stories, that's fine. Write new stories, but they can't. I don't believe that anybody out there anymore has the ability to come up with an original idea and bring it to fruition. They have got to cling to the past, redo something, reimagine something, reboot, re this, re that, re.
oh yeah, re.
We do have all the old stuff that we can go back and revisit. That's why Daredevil on Netflix is still trending up, still in the top
God,
10.
what a good show. Especially the second season. I think that's when, you know, I really loved the first season, but God, I fell head over heels over the second season.
Yeah. Well,
With the Punisher, it's just with Frank Castle as the Punisher and him and the argument they have on the roof. I was like, this is what I used to read in the comic books when he's calling him Red. You know, what do you think, Red? You think, you know, you do enough. You don't do enough, Red. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Frank and Daredevil from the comic books that I read when I was a kid. I'm smiling right now just talking about it because the way he talks to him.
and the Kingpin. Oh God, did he do a great job in that role?
Oh, hell yes, he did. Hell yes, he did. Hell yes, he did. No, they did an absolutely excellent job with him. No, and that coming from the guy that's in Men in Black, sugar and water. Is that better? You're like, oh my God, that guy's the Kingpin? Nah, but no, he does it. He absolutely nails it out of the park.
I mean, he looked the part. His attitude, his psychology was the part. Everything about it was just perfect. That was probably one of the. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of those other ones were crap, but that particular one, Daredevil, the one that started it, that was the one that, you know, they hit it out of the park with that one. They did.
Edgar, your skin's falling off. There's that better. He was wearing an Edgar suit. Sugar and water.
Sugar and water.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. That's right, Private Pile. Yep, he was in Full Metal Jacket too, Private Pile. God, this is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Full Metal Jacket. Oh my God, dude. It's just like, wow. No, absolutely. Another underrated, hugely underrated actor. What was I talking about? I was talking about, I was on Twitter. Someone had said something, and I was talking about Cole Meany, the guy who played O'Brien.
Yep.
And for whatever it put Cold
Lieutenant or ensign or whatever.
Cold Meany. And someone was like, I thought his name was Combe. And I was like, yeah, stupid autocorrect. Brandon Anime Guy, welcome to Loki's Army. Hell yeah. And guys, a little reminder, since there's so many people here right now, we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight for a Back to the Future action figure, but you have to be a Loki's Frost Giant. So if you are a Loki's Frost Giant, if any of you out there are Loki Frost Giants, you have a chance to win a Marty McFly Back to the Future when he's all dressed up in the suit. He's like, my name is Darth Vader. I'm an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan, the nuclear suit. With the hair dryer and all that. Yeah. I remember I asked I paused that and I was like, how does he get a hair dryer? And my dad was like, what do you mean? I was like, he's got a hair dryer. How did he get a hair dryer? It's the 50s. And my dad was like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And then like we were watching something over the making and there's a deleted scene in that movie where they're going through Doc's luggage and there's a hairdryer in Doc's luggage. And they never show that. He had packed up because, you know, I'm going to the future, Marty. He doesn't. He goes back to 1955. So Doc left it in the trunk.
Yep.
Yeah. Ah. So put his luggage in the car. I'm going to miss you, Marty. I love those movies. I got those on 4K not too long ago. I got to watch them. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet.
They were classics. That's 80s at its finest.
Yes, absolutely. With your choice of beans, chicken, beep, or pork. Shark still looks fake. Anyway. Oh, what the hell else do we have to talk about this morning? We talked about Stephen Perry bitching about the Mandalorian. We talked about Evangeline Lilly. Talked about Coof.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo admits his embrace of identity politics lost him half his fans. Also claims he stayed out of the sun to stay light-skinned in order to get work in Hollywood.
I heard Peter Dinklage was a little short with people about.
Oh, really? I heard he was an angry elf. An angry elf. Let's see if we can pull up what good old Peter was talking about. Oh yeah, Marvel, him. Yeah. Good old Spider-Man and Mary Jane are breaking up again.
Oh yeah. One more time. Can't do it just once. Let's do it twice. No, 3 times. Let's do it again.
Oh, there he is. Good old Dinky.
Old Dinky. Like I said, he was a little short with people.
Walt Disney Company instantly caved to woke criticism from Game of Thrones actors Peter Dinklage for their upcoming live-action Snow White film, starring a race-swap Snow White and Rochelle Zegler. So it's okay to race swap, but we're going to go after the tiny people.
Yeah, you just can't use the same old tropes because the story has been passed down for hundreds of years or however long. But hey, it's suddenly 2022. You can't do that anymore.
Dinklage appeared on WTF with Mark Marone podcast where he stated, well, you know, it's really progressive to cast literally no offense to anyone, but I was a little taken aback by they're very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Well, what else would it be?
He continued, take a step back and look at what you're doing there. It makes no sense to me because you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that fucking backward story of the 7 dwarves living in a cave. What the fuck are you doing?
They work in the mines.
Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I guess I'm not loud enough. He then concluded, I don't know what studio that is, but they were so proud of that, and all love and respect to the actress and to the people who thought they were doing the right thing. But I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Later in the podcast, Dinklage added, if you tell the story of Snow White and its most fucked up, cool, progressive spin on it, let's do it. All in. But I don't know. But I just don't know. Disney spokesman responded to Dinklage's comments, telling the Hollywood Reporter to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film. We are taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community.
Instant cave.
We look forward to sharing more as the film heads into production after a lengthy development period. On top of this, the Hollywood Reporter did damage control for Disney, claiming that's exactly what you should be doing damage control for a movie studio that you're reporting on. The film has been in development for 3 years. The studio has been reimagining the dwarf characters since the earliest stages of production.
They ought to take a page out of Goldie Hawn's book and just say, Hollywood should save their lectures for someone else. Oh,
So,
hey, did you hear that we only have 9 years left?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. God, I love that. I talked about that. Only 9 years left, guys. Hollywood's spoken. We only have 9 years left.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Gina Carano jumped into this.
Oh,
apparently, and said she told the former New York Times columnist Barry Weiss early on last year, before The Mandalorian came out, they wanted me to use their exact wording for an apology over pronoun usage, talking about Disney. I declined and offer a statement in my own words. I made clear I wanted nothing to do with mocking the transgender community and was just drawing attention to the abuse of the mob and forcing people to put pronouns in their bios. She said, I had a publicist at the time and they said, you have to put out an apology. This is messed up. This is awful. And I was like, okay, I did say right after that tweet, I clarified for everybody, this is not directed towards the transgender community in any way. And I've also been watching celebrities apologize left and right, and it's very ingenuine. And I said, can you just give me a moment because I'm kind of feeling emotional right now. And can I just do my own research? Carano then relayed, they were like, okay, yeah, do your research, but you need to get the phone tomorrow with our LGBTQ transgender section. And I was like, I'm feeling very emotional. Can you give me a second? And they said, no, you need to do this now. So she had to watch a documentary. She got on the phone with them. And they basically were just 2 very gentle people. And they were like, we're sorry you stepped in what they call a landmine, and we can tell you're not here against us. Actually, reported back to Disney and Lucasfilm, they thought it would be a bad idea if they canceled me or if they let this affect anything. So we know exactly what Disney does. They run for the hills.
Spineless
little bitches. Brandon the Anime Guy with a $5 super chat. Modern Hollywood, Holly Weird, sucks. F them. Also, O'Brien must suffer. Why does O'Brien have to suffer? God, that poor guy. He's been tortured. He's been God, poor O'Brien. The shoulder, that takes me back. He's like, oh, I was kayaking in the river. The river called to me in my shoulder. I wish that I had whatever Bashir, wave a little wand over it, done.
Yeah.
Man, I would have loved that back in the day.
Yep. Modern medicine in Star Trek is very modern.
Tolkien's dwarves were beings of great skill in mining and metallurgy and possessed of a high culture. They are non-Disney-fied cartoon abominations, and they are not the result of genetic problems. Right.
Yep.
And they were there before men. They're the second oldest race in Middle Earth. So
But
They were there before men.
but they're probably going to change some of that on the new Tolkien. It's going to.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Kind of wondering, how you can take a beloved classic like that and just totally ruin it. I mean,
Rip it apart.
Yeah. Inject your politics into it.
I mean, do you remember when they would do a re-release in theaters of movies like that?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
just swamp to it. It was like when Star Wars came back out in theaters.
In the 90s, yeah.
God help me. It was crazy.
Yeah, I brought both of my kids to see it because, they were too young when it first came out. They had seen the VHS tapes or maybe even the DVDs by that time, but I wanted them to see it in the theater. And the only problem with that is that was, that was the ones that Lucas had kind of gone over and did some of his re-editing with the scenes and stuff. And I wasn't real proud of that, but I did want them to see it on the big screen, which is something that needs to be done with movies. I mean, honestly, nowadays you can sit home and watch it on your 65, 70, 80-inch TV, but it's not the same as going into the theater and watching the movie.
Perfect Disney use of dwarves was Dinklage in Infinity War. Took a literal dwarf and made him a giant still named dwarf. That was horrible, and one among many reasons I hate the last two Avengers. That they did.
Yep.
Kendra L., yes, we drove to Grapevine to see those at Tinseltown Theater. And they used to leave those movies feeling so just great. It was like they were great. It was great watching it. It was great watching that. It was great watching Sleeping Beauty. It was great watching all those movies. I love the Robin Hood movies where they're the animals.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite. And my dad hated that. Why do you want to watch this Disney movie over there? Because I love Robin Hood. I love the animals. I thought it was great. It's too short. Well,
the fox.
So's Peter Dinklage. He's an angry elf.
Yeah. They do. He did have a little kickback from somebody over in England, I believe. I think that was also a little person.
Don't do it, Loki. Not that song. Do 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 be da boo da boo be da do 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 boo da do 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 do. Anyway, Stoned Up Music and Entertainment with $2 super chat says "Skull and tuck and roll." How are you doing, Stoned Up guys? If you aren't subscribed to Stoned Up Music and Entertainment, what are you doing? Get over to his channel and subscribe now. Just throw Snowed Up Music and Entertainment. We can get a mod. We can get a mod to throw his channel in, please, before we get out of here. What a great guy. What a great channel. Absolutely kicks ass and takes names. Archer Collins says, I did see somewhere that there's a suggestion to stop calling Pluto a dwarf planet.
Good God. Now we've offended the planet.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do that every day just by living on it. Ooh, lolly, ooh, lolly, golly, what a day. That's right.
Now that Now they're going to have that song stuck in their head all day
That's
long.
right. Ooda lolly, golly, what a day. Who snowed up? Shellback TJC. Who snowed up? Aha. I can see we're kidding around this morning. So, guys, we're going to, like I said earlier, we're going to have a giveaway tonight. We're going to have the Friday night show. We're going to have a bunch of great guests on tonight. We're going to have a kick-ass time. We've got a giveaway that's going to happen. We're going to be giving away, like I said, the Marty McFly and the nuclear reactor suit and the nuke suit and, you know, the spaceman outfit. We're going to be giving that away. We're going to have some fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. I've got a stream coming up Saturday that I'm going to be on, hopefully. So I'll talk about that more tonight once I get everything confirmed. Dave Bob, you got anything going on?
Nope. I'm just going to go out to the shop and build another P80.
Holy shit. You're going to build a P80?
Just a Glock clone. I like building guns.
If you can build a P90, oh, I'm all in, brother.
Oh, I don't think I can do that. I think those are full automatic. I might get in trouble.
Uh-huh. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and Dave Bob. Be great. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. And we will catch you guys next week for another week in review. Don't forget, we are on tonight at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time with Mexican Iron Man. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. And we'll
Have
see
a
you
great
next time.
day, folks.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.